All right, we are live. Hello, Twitch. We are back for Voyage of the Fallen Star. I am Zach, your GM, bringing you this game, this campaign by Dungeons in a Box, for which I and Chad do some work, and we both contribute to this game. And we would like to show all the great stuff it has to offer. Uh, I'm excited. You guys just completed the second adventure book of the series out of 13, so still a ways to go. But you've now recovered, especially, a third fragment of the Fallen Star. So, how are you doing, Chad, tonight?
I am doing really well. I was just doing some quick maths, and if we stay at the pace that we're going, I think we can expect to complete the campaign in 104 sessions.
Woo!
So, uh, you know,
Just
I
208 weeks.
I love this game. So 100, I'd play 300 sessions with you gentlemen, if that's what it required. But anyway, no, I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. I am Chad. I play Varanus, who is a dragonborn wizard, little bit unlike maybe your stock pointy hat wizard situation. But no, I'm doing well. I mean, we got another star fragment. We survived, in some cases barely. So this is all good stuff. And
Fantastic.
on that note, I'll be right back.
All right. How about Mark playing
Hey, hey.
Kylan?
Yeah, it's good. Definitely fun to do the boss fight last week. Very cool setup with the lava wolf, right? That was the deal. Did that have a
Mm-hmm.
name? Did it have like a monster name?
Magma Wolf.
Magma wolf. Okay,
Yes.
liquid hot magma wolf. Yeah. So that was pretty sick. Obviously, it was cool to try to go for the star piece. I didn't quite get there, but Bungo, played by Ray, who's not here tonight, did manage to, and that was a cool ending to the magma wolf fight.
Yes, indeed. That was fantastic. Uh, and then you all had to run out of a volcano that was about to burst. So, all fun. All right. How about Omarin, who is the captain of the Cerulean Wind and this crew?
Omarin is very, very glad to be back on the ocean. The whole jungle, cave, volcano, jungle, monster thing didn't suit him very well. But now we're back, and we have placed the bit of star in the compass, and it is pointing us towards the next phase of our journey.
Indeed, it is. It is, in fact, yes, it's pointing north, slightly northwest, uh, towards Giant Spur most directly, but then there are some other locations beyond that which it could also be indicating. Yes. And lastly, we have our Dr. Sweetness, played by Blake.
Hi. I'm just glad to be back. I feel like I haven't played this game in a long time. It's been over a month. Yeah, I think Sweetness is probably feeling pretty down on himself. I think he missed this sort of, culmination of this first leg of the quest, and yeah, I think he's probably been in his head a lot and really bummed and feeling weak from his exhaustion. So yeah, I think he's hoping to make a good show of it now going ahead, and I think he's been like practicing and fighting, and he's really gonna wants to step up his game so that he can contribute more so to future adventures.
Excellent. I mean, yes, he was very, very exhausted by the intense heat of the lava tunnels that you were in. But he did manage to gather While the others, fought for the shard with the magma wolf, Sweetness managed to gather quite a bit sulfur and phosphorus, natural deposits that he had found in the cave, which might be useful in his experiments with the doom powder weapons that were used by the Black Rifters.
What a great thing to be making aboard a ship.
Yeah, maybe a wizard will have some precautions he can lend.
Not a bad idea.
Yes, Bungo also nearly eaten by the magma wolf after grabbing that shard. And so he's not doing so hot either. So he's just gonna go below decks to get some rest. But when we left off last time to the Cerulean Wind, with the volcano still erupting on the island in the background, and the palm trees, blowing furiously in the hot air, and the ash, raining down, you learn that the two sort of most junior members of the ship, just deckhands, have died and were killed by Hal. Gilbert Saltwick, up on deck, right? He says, I was on duty, and up on the top deck, and Hal was getting his rest, and the deckhands were going about their business, and then I start hearing this commotion from downstairs, and cries of pain and screams, and I go to rush below deck, and then I hear, one final yell from a man, and a body hit a floor, and then another comes screaming out at me. This is the other deckhand, and my sword's in my hand, and I instinctively I stab him, but I do not know if he was running at me in fear or in attack. It was in the wee hours of the morning and dark.
Good question. Did I get back to the boat before? Am I on the boat? Have I been on the boat for a little while?
You all arrived back on the boat together.
Okay, all right. So they sort of like picked me up. I was like resting. I'm like, oh, you got the star. Oh, good.
Exactly.
Do I still have exhaustion?
Yes, 2 levels of exhaustion.
2 levels of exhaustion.
As does the captain, I believe.
Well, that's brutal.
He is, as we say, wicked tired.
So wait, did they just say Hal killed somebody?
Yes. It's Hal came up later and said the 2 deckhands, they tried to attack him in his sleep. They burst into his room, and one of them stuck him, but Hal managed to fight him off. So he says. He's now recovering in his room below, very disgusted with himself, we might say, for having to kill these men. He said it seemed they had gone, mad, maybe with the influence of the dark elf magics around these islands. Who knows? But
so their bodies were found in Hal's room.
No. So if we look, one of them was killed here. See if you see this blood stain. Right, one of them was killed here. That was the one I got, says Gilbert, who charged out from below decks. And then if we move below decks, we see Vallisto joined you here. He's tending the new sea urchin tank. We can talk about that later. But you now have a little sea urchin aquarium, breeding ground. Oh, I didn't move the blood stain. Shh.
Where's the blood?
It's just right here. So, the other one was killed down below decks here. A throwing axe buried in his skull.
See Captain shaking his head. What's going on?
The captain is exhausted from this whole ordeal. He just wanted to like come back and maybe sit alone at night on the forepeak and watch the moon, and instead he has to deal with this, which makes him grumpy. So he's sort of standing there, leaning heavily on his trident, and he says to Gilbert, he says, "Gilbert, gather the crew and gather Hal, and we shall have a talk."
I don't know if it's good to move Hal at this point. He got a stomach wound, pretty bad.
I turn to the doctor and say, "Well, we have the man for the job." And I look at Sweetness and say, "Be quick about it."
Also exhausted. It's like
Right. So
I'll gather my effect.
As you say that, Sweetness, the captain points to his upper lip right here. This stiff upper lip, lad. Get the job done.
Aye, Captain. I
So
say, and I
sweet.
kind of wearily begin to hobble down stairs. I'll grab my surgical tools and stuff like that.
Gilbert rushes up to you. He's like, "Oh, let me take these bags from you too. You know, no need to be overburdened. Bags full of explosive or
Right. Oh yeah, my
minerals."
Zach.
Yeah.
Very much, Gilbert.
I think while all this is going on, I kind of imagine Varanus is like, he's listened to this. Could I maybe drift off towards some of the other crew that aren't directly involved in this, and just
aside
see
from
if
Hal, there's no other crew.
Oh, there's no other crew
Right.
in and around the boat right now.
Those were yeah, you only have two other crew members aside from your party, Hal and Gilbert, right now. Those were the only two. Those deckhands were the only two other crew you had, aside from the Aldath.
Oh, well then
Ghosts.
Omar will remember that in his exhausted state and then follow Sweetness down into Hal's quarters. It's been a very long day.
Captain, you don't think I could just rest this one off? Calls Bungo from his bunk. Way down the hall.
He gives like a
Nope.
dissatisfied look and then ignores him.
Could you just speak loudly? I'll listen. I'll keep the door open
If
for
you
you.
must.
Vallisto excuses himself. He's like, this is not any of my business, so I will wait above deck to tutor any who wish in the cultivation of the urchin.
I've been walking to the room with Calby sharpening my scalpel on my little leather strap, and
It's like, Duck, you're back.
and can we smell his bowels?
No, he doesn't smell like he's close to death necessarily, but, so the wound was only done, not too long ago, right? A matter of hours. Actually, that's a long time for a stomach wound. So, yeah. No, but no bowel smell.
Smells like death. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of wondering, I heard you had a bit of a scuffle, Hal? Have a look at you. And then, yeah, I'd like to come up and examine and investigate.
All right. So, well, you can make a medicine check.
Okay.
Of course, with disadvantage for your
exhaustion,
wearied state.
Yeah.
He
seems all right to me.
You're like, yeah, you think it'll heal on its own. You're muted.
Doesn't need stitches or anything. Like I could just bandage him tightly.
You could,
and...
yeah. Basically, you gave him.
If that is my medical opinion,
that is it.
Yeah.
You basically think he's lucky that it missed anything vital.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm pressing around on him, and I'll say, well, very lucky. I think you're going to recover just fine. Let's get you bandaged up. And I'm kind of pulling him up, to try to,
Doc, don't you usually wear glasses when you do your doctoring?
uh,
Implying that your
it's a large
glasses are
enough
not
room
on
that
your
I have no trouble seeing it.
because you're weary. So you're trying to move him?
Well, I was just trying to get have him, assist me
Sit
in
up.
sitting him up a little bit so I can wrap him.
Sure, sure. Well, yeah, he lets you do your administrations, and he
Could
just has,
I'll
yeah.
still have, and maybe this would be another medicine check. I'd like to just sort of be paying attention as I'm sort of moving him and stuff to see if I notice any other signs of a fight. Again, there's a part of me, and I think probably some of us, it's a little bit suspicious about the story here. Definitely going to want to look at the other bodies, and yeah, if I just see other signs of a scuffle or something.
Actually, doesn't your feat allow you to roll medicine checks with advantage? Wouldn't that cancel out?
Let me check the healer.
I
Oh, I
forget.
do. Would
Yeah.
have canceled.
So you would have got a 13. So I'll say with that check, right? Yeah.
Okay.
You look at it better, right? You don't think it's gonna do anything permanent damage wise. You're wrapping it up. You do notice he has defensive wounds. Like
Okay.
he was, cut on his upper arm, which he sort of bandaged himself already. Some bruises around his hands, right? Especially. Um, Looked like
Okay.
he definitely fought off someone or beat someone up.
Yeah, I think while Sweetness was looking at Hal, I would like to look at the victims here, I guess, or the dead people, and just search their
Sure.
bodies and just sort of see like what I can learn about them. It seems like it's a very extreme reaction. I don't know if I can learn more about their culture or what's motivating them from anything on their person.
Sure. So yeah, Gilbert's like, oh, we stowed the bodies in below decks because we don't want to throw them overboard, draw the sharks.
Sure.
Also, aren't we getting paid to get bodies for someone?
Oh, we are.
That seems a little grim. I don't know. We'll deal with that later. In the meantime,
All right. So
let's
yeah,
get
you
the
head
bottom of
below
this.
decks, right? You can see there's two bodies under the cloths there.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm just searching them, like looking for anything that jumps out.
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
Yeah.
They look like pretty much most dock hands you've ever seen everywhere, right? They're like the most generic looking, gruff, hired help from Greyhaven, right? That's Greyhaven's a metropolis, right? So it's hard to tell if they have any specific heritage. There's nothing that indicates they were part of some organization or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't have much. Perhaps searching their personal belongings could, in terms of their
Like in the
sea
quarters.
chests, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I guess
they,
that is the next step for sure. If they didn't have anything on them, then it's time to search their quarters.
yeah. So they don't really have quarters. They just sleep in hammocks.
Sure.
But they each have a small chest. Uh, and of course their bodies have the keys on them. So do you open them up?
Yeah.
All right. So they click open easy enough. And these guys apparently packed pretty light. There's maybe a token right from home, a few extra changes of clothes, stashed away bottle of liquor. though at the bottom of one of them, you find a small reserve pouch of coins.
How many coins?
27.
Oh, okay. So are they like normal standard coinage?
Yeah.
Or are you saying that they're like
Well,
from something weird?
they do look. They're not Greyhaven coinage.
Okay.
Yeah, so they do look a little different, but they do have the things that are they're what would you call them? They can be used throughout the Greenwald, right? The whole continent that you guys were on. Um, but yeah, they're actually slewish coinage.
Wow,
Yeah.
slewish. That that of course means a lot to me, but for those at home who don't necessarily know what that means, you could give them a recap.
Anyone want to fill the audience in on slew?
It's been a while.
I mean, from what I remember, right, the merchant princes that rule Slew,
Mm-hmm.
and in fact, they were there were sort of rivals that were hiring different groups to try and one of their interests was to track down the star fragments, so including us, this group, and they're
Right.
notoriously backstabbing each other and up to things. So the plot thickens in a very potentially political way here upon this discovery, I'd say.
Yes, but you also recall that these people, including Gilbert and the two deckhands that joined your crew, well, there were a few more, but they got killed by Captain Catapult before really joining you guys. Gilbert and the two deckhands were picked by Corvisa, to be sent as part of your crew, right? So they were sort of hired, from people she knows. So that seems to fit with Slewish coin.
So is this like the value of this coin? If you were to say spend this all on something, just to kind of get a sense of like how much this is worth, like what would this get you?
Well, Slewish coin spends better in Slew itself,
Sure.
right? Um, other nations are wary and think the Slewish like to make their gold pieces a little light, not have as much matter in there. Um, so, but the Slewish themselves, right, are totally fine to use it. So in total, you probably have 75 gold pieces worth in Slew, maybe 50 gold pieces elsewhere.
So I mean, my read on this, like Kylam is, going to bring this to Amaran and sort of be like, this is a sort of suspicious amount of money that I found in one of the lockers from one of these crew. Maybe it was a bribe or something from one of the merchant princes.
Are you taking pains to be subtle?
I'm going directly to Amaran, and I think I am at least not being like too much around the NPCs at very least.
Right.
Like if any of the PCs want to jump in, they may be walking by, and I wouldn't try to conceal it from them.
Right. Or you could talk in
Yeah.
Elven.
I think maybe
That's true.
at the mention
Ooh,
of
that's a good
Slew,
point.
I'm from Slew. And yeah, maybe I just perk up a little bit. I'm just like noticing now.
So, Captain, I think I'm going to talk with the NPC whose name I know, who isn't Hal.
Is
Gilbert?
his name not
Gilbert.
showing? Oh.
So,
Whatever.
I,
There we go.
so
Gilbert.
counterpoint to this, Kylam, I don't
Yeah.
think there's any immediate danger, like within the next couple days from this. I wonder if we all rest up and then we chat with them when we're better
Mm.
We're better rested, and we have all of our spells and things like that.
So, I mean, the counterpoint is that, like, if there is a danger, we are, like, the least prepared to handle it, in the sense that if they have the initiative, if somebody, like, sinks the ship or whatever, we are, like, not in a good spot to deal with that, and I'd rather be on the aggressive, be prepared for that kind of thing, rather than just, like, wake up one morning and it's bad times. I mean, I think it's more fun to do it now, to be honest, also, but that's...
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think Varanus would also contribute to that same thing too, just being like, you know, Captain, we need to set a decisive, you know, example so that this can't be tolerated anymore. Like, I think handling it now is like very in line with
Sweetness kind of does that. Yes.
It's possible that this is all truly resolved. Really the only real rogue factors here are Gilbert and Hal. Gilbert was at least, maybe I can't really speak with confidence, but maybe he knew these people. Maybe he has a similar situation, although that doesn't seem likely, given that I think he killed one of them. And Hal, did he instigate this in some way? Did something going on with him? Like, that's the other question here. I don't know how we would prove either one.
Well,
Does he?
your captain has leveled up and achieved some new proficiencies in reading people's minds, so we'll use that.
Okay, well, that's a great start. Yeah.
It would be much more effective if the captain was not exhaustion level 2, but we'll roll with it.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That's what makes it dramatic.
That's awesome.
Hey,
also, what
Hal's
makes
pretty fucked up too. I don't think he's going to be rolling hot.
Yeah.
and we have our story points and stuff too for this very thing.
That's
Right.
fair.
And
God forbid we fail a roll.
also to mention, you know, what ups the stake as a careening ball of fire slams into the water, not 50 feet from the boat, sending a wave rocking. You also have an exploding island, you know,
Yeah.
pretty close by.
Yeah. I guess we should pick up anchor and start going, actually.
Yeah.
Gilbert?
And says, yeah, best we be going. Phantom crew, raise anchor.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the crew disperses to man the ship. Move them off there. Valisto goes like, I am not going to leave the island. I can explain within a few minutes about the urchins while your ship gets underway, perhaps.
Sure. Why don't you go down to the infirmary and explain it to Sweetness, while the rest of us get ready to go.
Cool. Very good.
All
Very
ears,
good.
Callisto.
All right. So you guys have at the end of last session for choosing to heed Valisto's advice about leaving the island spirits where they be. You guys were rewarded with the Infernus Urchin Pool. And so you can scroll down to see what it does in more detail. Read in this pool up to 8 of them, and you can sort of take them out or despine them to either jab a creature to heal them for a small amount and cure any poison, or you can use them to poison a creature.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is quite cool indeed.
Yeah. So Valisto speaks, quickly, and he's sort of like stumbling over his words a little bit because he can feel like, he's on this ship. He hasn't been on a boat for a while. And last time he was on one, it got shipwrecked. So, there's that. And so, yeah, he just quickly speaks through it, tells you you have to change the seawater every 5 days or else it gets too mucky. Don't leave it for long. And naturally, of course, the urchins, once the habitat is saturated, they will no longer reproduce. So don't try to make, extra, as it will, again, it will overcrowd the habitat. Everything in balance, as always.
Of course, yes. All right, I'm scribbling notes. Adding it to my little nature diary. I thank you for this rare opportunity to cultivate and study such a species.
Ah, you will just take care of them. And with that, he, goes around, sort of. If he doesn't see you, he doesn't say goodbye to you. He doesn't search you out to say goodbye. So he just sort of, heads up the deck, gives a nod to anyone he sees, and then just sort of, as the ship is starting, the sails are unfurling and being hoisted up, and the different winches are being turned, anchor is being drawn up, the capstan, and everything is happening, right? Because this is mostly the work of the Phantom crew. Describe how it looks when your Phantom crew is operating the ship, Varanus.
Well, I mean, they are the spirits of Dragonborn that were literally raised and trained and bred their whole lives to go on a great voyage. They are called the Arosiak, and they are just incredibly fast and efficient and almost automated with how this is something they would have drilled tirelessly. So yeah, just watching them is probably quite the sight to behold. They can't speak in their spirit form, but it's almost like they wouldn't need to, even if they could. Just the sheer sort of practiced understanding that they have. And I think that scene is something that, like Varanus, we've only gone on a sort of handful of voyages, and so it's still something that I think he sort of like watches with a bit of a wistful kind of regard. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So your dragonborn spirits are going about the ship, hoisting, turning, climbing.
Oh yeah, some of them have like wings. They're like the sort of what do we call that in D&D world? I'm forgetting when certain dragon humanoids have the wings. But yeah,
yeah. Dragonkin, or half dragons.
Half dragons, yeah, I think it's half dragons. So some of them are maybe like more of that whatever, like thread of evolution, and so some of them, they're spectral rings. Like instead of climbing up a ladder or something, some of them just can sort of fly up and deal with ropes or rigging or something like that.
Yeah. Nice. So the ship starts to move, right? The volcano is now bursting, right? Streams of lava flowing down its sides. Why don't we just for a moment take us back to the Great Sea, where we can... Alright. So you guys are currently where that pink triangle is amid the blazing isles. So yes, so you need to. I can zoom in a little bit, maybe. Well, that doesn't help. Make that so yes, you guys are in the middle or lower left-hand corner of the blazing isles. Yeah, and it's that small island in the far left corner that's the one exploding. So you guys are going to try, and as we said, the compass points in this direction, right? So the Giant Spur, the Boddens, and Leviathan Reef, maybe, get touched by its direction. So how are you gonna... Captain, what course are you gonna set? Are you gonna go north by the quickest route? Or are you gonna try to circumnavigate the islands?
I want to get at least out of sight of the island, just sort of going immediately west, just so if there's any black rifters around, they just won't see us. So once we're over...
The island is to your west, and then there's another island to your east. You're like smack dab in the middle.
Right, so we would sort of come along, I guess we would go northwest.
Okay, alright.
And then out of here, and then sort of out of the horizon, and then basically directly toward the Giant Spur.
Alright. So, Captain has set his course. You guys remember, in the Blazing Islands, there's this Blazing Isles, right? There's this constant smoky mist and fog, and it's only gotten thicker with this volcanic eruption. So that, along with the tumult of the event itself, seems to give you a good deal of cover as you sail. Although, of course, right, it could also conceal a deal of trouble. Who generally is in the crow's nest? If anyone.
Historically, that might have been Bungo, actually.
Hmm.
That rings true to me.
Anyone taking his place?
No, Marin would definitely be at the helm through this.
Sure,
All right.
with Bungo under the weather, I'm happy to go up there. I'm sort of a jack of all trades, like I can fit any slot, so Bungo's feeling a bit ill, and I'm up there keeping an eye out.
All right. Why don't you make me a perception check?
Sorry, did I say I was up there? I meant that Baroness was.
All right. So you are able to shouting down to the captain. You see ahead geyser spouts close by, but you see it in time to give directions to the captain. So the cerulean wind manages to avoid those without any difficulty.
No, your other port.
The thick smell of the ashes now just gets, if you don't, well, I guess your face is mostly covered, Kylum, but all those on board, right, unless you have a rag or something, your mouth is just, and nose is getting full of ash.
Wouldn't keep out particulates from smoke and stuff.
Well, you never know what's under there. What did that squirrel find? A squirrel. Oh yeah, Omarin as a squirrel went to give Kylum a good berry in his helmet.
You saw?
Well,
like mouth to mouth.
I mean, it was kind of smushed. So, like,
dark.
imagine you were, like, stuck in the trunk of a Camry trying to, like, I don't know, feed somebody a bonbon. You think you'd know what they looked like?
Well, from experience, I can say no.
I didn't get a great look.
Okay. That mystery yet resolved. It's all right. We have 204 weeks. 208 weeks.
So, yes, with the captain, Omarin, why don't you make me a water vehicles check or a navigator's tools check, either one.
I think, and I have disadvantage because we have not rested. I will make us a navigator's tools. What?
Gilbert offers. He's like, I can assist you with at the helm, sir.
Perfect.
All right, so you can roll with.
You might
normally.
be a murderer, but we'll allow this. Yeah.
I've sailed with worse.
Fair.
Aren't we all murderers, really, when you really get right down to it?
Oh, wow! All right, Captain, proving his worth at the helm yet again, steers the cerulean wind a fair ways out from the Isles. And so as dusk falls, right, you guys have now you're on the edge of the smoky Isles, so you can stay partially concealed in there if you want, or you could just sail out into the deeper ocean.
Let's go out. Let's go deep.
All right.
Let's go real deep.
Going deep. So you sail on into the evening. So it seems much of the danger has passed, right? You saw encountered no Rifter ships moving through the Isles. So as night falls, it just looks like, partly cloudy skies and calm waters. And a steady, but, not the strongest wind.
Perfect sailing for a full night's rest.
Night. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, if you guys wanted to, you could take your rest now.
I thought we had agreed to solve this mystery. Are people's spirits flagging as...
Omaran has altered
yes.
the deal.
Yeah.
It honestly is totally intelligible to me. I plan on doing all kinds of things, and then I get home from school and I'm like, I'm tired. And so I don't do a lot of them.
Yeah, Captain, so we still have the unresolved issue of Hal and the thing.
Kylam, if you want to handle it, I will observe and observe.
Well, that's a good point. You take your rest, sir, and leave this to the crew.
Okay,
It's a crew problem. Well, the crew can handle it.
I give you a look and say, you know what? This is good. I'm good at delegating now that I'm the captain. I will stay at the helm, and we'll see what you guys find.
Okay. I guess,
right.
Maybe I picture us all gathered outside of Hal's room and kind of like, okay, what's our game plan here?
Oh, what do
We're
we...
just gonna ask a bunch of questions.
Among us, what do we gather actually happened here?
The money from Slew seems to suggest maybe those guys were paid by a merchant prince, right?
But why attack him in particular? Like, do the merchant princes think that he's a problem particularly?
Well, at least that
maybe
merchant...
he took over the ship, just or maybe he found it.
Well, remember, we know where those two came from a very particular merchant prince, Corvisa. Perhaps there's history there between Corvisa and Hal that predates our being a crew.
Or Corvisa and, like, Black Rift. I mean, like, that... He could just be a proxy for Black Rift in their minds.
Yeah. I think
I
you
don't
can
know.
ask him to tell his side of the story. If he says
Yeah.
he found the coins, which is so far the only evidence that we've found, maybe Kylam, we ask him, like, okay, like, how many coins were there? Like, where did you find them to try to get
I
some...
don't think he found them at all, because they were in the guy's locker. I don't think he found them. I mean, maybe he did, but we have no reason to think that.
Like, I was just trying to imagine evidence that he might give.
Well, that's fine. We can start talking to him and find out. We'll see what he says. Maybe we shouldn't all be questioning him.
You want to go in by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, one of us, whoever's maybe the most persuasive.
How about whoever's the least exhausted? So not me. I'd love to actually go in, but all my rolls will be dog shit.
Baroness, you or me? Want to flip for it?
Who's got better insight?
Sure.
My insight's not very good.
-3. So I'll go in. You guys come out
yeah.
and keep an eye on things while the captain's resting.
Right. The ship
Sure.
also, if you're helping to sail it, that could.
Yeah.
If
I
you have
might
nothing to do, you
at
can
least
stay on.
want to. I might at least want to eavesdrop on the conversation. You know, like listening in the room. One, just in case anything, hopefully doesn't. But if something, goes
But
wrong.
you think I can't take Hal?
No. I think you can. Now, granted, I've seen us all struggle against spiders before, so you just never know. Any given Sunday, you might get pwned by a 1/4 CR thing. But no, I'm gonna listen in as I tend to some duties around the ship.
Could I, while that's going on, I never got to take a look at the bodies, and I'm just wondering if I might discover.
Sure. Give me a medicine check.
Something. Yeah, I'll do that while Varanus listens in.
All right. What are you gonna say, Kyle? Or how do you start, Kyle?
So I go in and I assume we're actually outside the infirmary because I think that's where Hal was resting after being treated by Sweetness.
Hal was in his quarters. He was
in his
resting
quarters,
in his. He has his own quarters. Yeah.
Okay.
He is the quartermaster, in fact. Anyway.
So I go to Hal's quarters. I like knock. I'm like, Hal, can I come in? Are you okay? You awake in there?
Yes. You can come in, Kyle.
There's like a sock on the door or something.
Yeah. So I'm taking a look to see how he is. Like, is he recovering well? Does he look like Sweetness's prognosis was accurate?
Yeah. Hal is looking a good deal better. Sweetness is either his work was well enough or the wound less severe than initially thought.
You're not really sure.
Yeah. Well, you ended up with a
Oh,
13
no.
because we retconned that. So
Maybe
13
Sweetness
is...
is really good at what he does.
You don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll like clasp my hand on his shoulder and be like, look, you're looking good. You're looking good over there. And I'll just like send him 1 point of lay on hands.
All right.
1 point.
Sure. He's like, that's a relief, lad.
It's the best I can do given the circumstances. What happened, Hal? Like, it seems madness that the deckhands just attacked you like that.
Madness indeed. I'm just gonna throw our picture of Hal up again, just so everyone can be reminded. Hal's dashing figure. Yes, I could see it in their eyes when they came in. It was, I don't know, 4th bell maybe, somewhere around there. My shift was almost up, so maybe I was sleeping lighter, and thank the gods that I was. I keep my door locked, as all cautious men do, and that saved me because they had to break through.
Right.
And you look at the door, and you do see, splintered wood around the locking mechanism, around the latch. As well as some, you notice also some blood spatter on the floor of Hal's room as well. So yes, they broke in, and I reached over to grab my own weapon, not knowing what it was, and but the first one got me good. But I was able to rush them and get free of the room, get into more open areas, and then scooped up one of my throwing axes, and fortunately got one right as he was coming out. Laid him low right outside there. And he sort of points to where that I don't know what it was that drove them so. It was a hazy moment, but maybe I heard them mention, something about being a rifter. I don't know.
Huh. I mean, I guess this is the time I'm gonna make an insight check just to sort of see like how this smells.
Sure.
14.
Yeah, so from your read on Hal, he seems to be telling the truth, right? From his
Sure.
perspective. That's what happened to him.
They didn't explain themselves. They just bust down the door and attacked you, and that's it. Like they didn't
Yes.
threaten you or say
They
anything.
they just meant to kill me, I think.
Jeez.
Yes.
So
I don't know
you
if
know,
it was a mutiny. I was, in command, technically, when Captain was off board. They wanted to take the ship, but I don't know why they... Yeah. Gilbert would have been next in charge, of course.
yeah, I mean, they didn't go after him, so maybe they would have after you, but who knows, right? Like,
Right. Or, did one try to go... I know he killed the other, the one I didn't. So maybe he did, the other one did go after him. I don't know.
maybe. Do you know just well, we're trying to figure out like what caused this, and we're sort of going through the usual suspects of people who have had issues with us in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any connection to anybody who might have a grudge against you, who might have hired them?
No, they weren't. You know the look. You know the look a hired killer gives you. Maybe you don't, but I've been in enough back alleys. When someone is hired to kill you, it's like a shark, dead in the eyes. No, there was some fire behind their eyes, some
Like it was personal.
personal, or there was something running, making their blood run hot. Of that I'm certain.
Huh.
But again, everybody's blood runs hotter in the islands.
I suppose, but if that leads people to resort to random murder, I think we've got to have some issues on this game.
Oh, I take no issue with that.
Get your rest, Hal. I'm sure we talk to you soon, and but for now, the captain just wants you to rest to get back up to full fighting shape again.
Yes, I've smelled we've left the blazing isles, have we? The ash is no longer choking on the wind.
Yes, sailing is going smooth. You just get your rest.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Kylan. I appreciate you tending me.
Yeah. So after that, I leave gently, closing the door, kind of like. There's like an awkward moment where I'm like trying to lock it, and I kind of forgot the lock is broken. Like, eventually, I just would like prop up like a thing against it and be like, "Please don't enter."
You don't notice
like-
the last one. This only could have been done from the inside.
Yeah.
So then I get a Sweetness and Baroness, and relay to them what the discussion we just had.
But meanwhile,
Sweetness, yes.
I would also. I had another idea of something I would like to do, which is where's Gilbert Saltwick? Is he literally right there around the corner, or is he?
Oh no,
on
sorry.
deck?
He would be doing duties on deck. Yeah.
I'd like to check his locker as well and see if there are any coins of slew lying about.
Well, you were investigating the bodies, so for now, that was what you were doing, right? You were
Yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't change my mind.
Well, you could, if you want to.
Oh.
But I thought you were doing the bodies while the conversation was happening.
Well,
It-
I know, but I was saying that I was thinking I might have changed my mind.
I see. I see.
Yeah, and been like, oh, I might. How am I gonna tell?
Mm-hmm.
You know, anything from the bodies. So I think, yeah, I think I have had a thought and would have switched gears and been like, actually, I'm gonna go just. I'm a little more curious to see if perhaps Gilbert is also telling the truth.
All right. So you head slowly, make your way
At a
towards the
snail's pace
aft.
at half my speed.
Yep.
Actually, I'm just getting to the door as
Kylem's like, all right, I'm done.
And you find Gilbert's trunk, and it is locked, and of course you don't have his key.
Well, I'm exhausted, and I just lay down for a rest. I give it a little shake. Do I hear any coins?
Make a perception check with, of course, disadvantage.
Yeah. Perception coming in hot.
You hear stuff moving around in there, but nothing particular.
Seems like he's
Varanus,
innocent to me.
Varanus, you were also listening in. Did you want to do anything while that was going on?
Let's see. Honestly, no, I think we can all just get together and discuss where we're at right now.
All right. So you two come out, and Varanus, you saw Sweetness walk through the hold.
Yeah, I kind of look at Kylem and like nod that way, like I saw
I'm
him
not
go that
starting to walk toward y'all. I'm just like,
like,
why don't
and
we
I
meet
say,
halfway?
I say to Kylem, as we're making our way over to Sweetness. So, what's your take? You believe him?
Yeah, I do. Still, that doesn't get us particularly far, but at least it suggests that he's probably not going to turn on us. He didn't say anything too weird or suspicious.
Well, I feel like the best conclusion we can draw here is that somebody had paid them to screw us over somehow.
I don't think that's it. No, I think that
think
something
it's a
might have been
vendetta?
affecting them. I think something might have been affecting them. Yeah.
Oh, from the fire in their eyes.
Yeah, I think that they were acting out of character, basically. And it might have like heightened something that they already felt about Black Rifters, but maybe brought them to like a very extreme moment.
Yes, let's hope
Great.
it was not a mirage. We know how effective
Yeah.
those can be at tricks on the mind.
I kind of look over to Varanus and like, do you detect anything along those lines? Is that something you could discover by arcane means?
I confess that the nature of such spells are not my expertise, nor is any school of magic, I suppose, at time being. But I guess one question, Zach.
You do remember the compass has
Right, it has the detect magic.
divinatory
We just have to
powers.
pull it away from fucking
Well, I think we get Bungo to like sleepwalk
Bilbo.
around using it. Get Bungo to be like just guide him very carefully. Be like, Bungo,
Yeah.
Bungo, we need you to detect magic. And he's like,
But I'm
"Oh,
wondering,
God,
like,
God."
we could maybe do it on the body and see, like, is he wearing a cursed item or something that inadvertently is like could have done something like this? Like, I think that's basically what Varanus, all he could really reasonably think to do here.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I summon over Bungo and I'm just like, rouse him out of bed if he's asleep and just be like, either hand over the compass or come with me.
It's like, all right, all right. You know, he's been resting all day because you guys sailed, but pretty much, you know, for 8-10 hours or so. So he got like a full, you know, full rest on his own.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
'cause
I
he-
imagine it's basically like all of us, you know, now gathered over the body with him sort of using the compass to,
Yeah.
as you know, we're all kind of like, you know, I've instructed him to like use this basically, and yeah, see if that yields anything.
All right. Sweetness, did you want to take this time to do some medical examinations or investigation as well?
On the bodies,
Yeah.
I'll give him a look over. I don't see why
Yeah.
it wouldn't hurt. And
Right.
Yeah. So
so
you
I'll do that. That'll be a straight roll.
Sure. You uncover the bodies, and yes, one has a huge gouge, right? You know, right through his skull.
Owie.
Yeah.
Don't have to be a doctor to see what did this one in.
There's also other minor wounds, right? That both of them have, and the other one was stabbed. He has a stab fully through his lower torso, right? Just all the
That's
way.
the one that ran into Gilbert,
Yes.
unfortunately. Okay, yeah, I'll look him over, and I guess I'm basically looking for anything suspicious, anything that would indicate to me that the story doesn't line up, or you know, anything like that. So.
Sure.
Wow.
Everything checks out to your eyes.
Wow. Yeah. They're dead. They're definitely dead. Glad this has not been a combat round. I haven't been rolling like
Meanwhile, yeah, Bungo he's got the compass, and he's you can see he's getting really into it, and he's closing his eyes, and he's like, you can almost surf on the magical currents, man. And he's like, I got a little something on the guy with the wound in the skull.
What kind of aura are we picking up on here?
It seems to be some sort of transmutation, I think.
And can we try to almost like we do with the compass as we get closer? Is there any way we could try to hone in on where specifically?
I'd say this could be an investigation check with advantage. Someone could make it. Bungo could do it.
Blake, I think you were muted, but I saw you say something.
That wouldn't be advantage if I make it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a +3. I'm sure somebody probably has better.
No, why would you think we don't have better than +3 at this level? I want to jump out ahead of this one. +3 is genuinely good.
I know it is. I just figured someone might.
Why?
But well, say you have just even a +2 in the core ability and you're proficient, you would have higher than me.
All right. Well, Bungo's like, yes, I can do it. You know, maybe Magnus is in there, like also like giving him pointers. Oh, you know, watch for the secret pockets, right down on the inner thigh. Wasn't there, but in a inner breast pocket on his tunic, you pull out. Someone roll me a D100.
I gotcha.
$85. You pull out a small leather-bound diary.
Let's have a read. Story time.
Why is Varanus talking like this?
This is my new voice. No. if you don't hear me do my Varanus voice, then in that case, that's just me. That's like me doing Mystery Science Theater on my own character at that point. That's the barometer that will never fail you. Okay, sorry, Zach. The journal.
It is written in Dwarven.
That is unfortunate. I don't speak Dwarven, but I'll kind of flip through it in front of everyone to see if it catches if anyone
You
else
also
recognizes
notice,
it.
yeah, as you flip through, there's, it's mostly looks like a journal, right? Day-to-day entries, maybe a sketch here and there. But towards the end, or, not quite at the end, right? There's more recent entries. But towards the end, there are a series, in fact, 7 missing pages.
7 missing pages.
They
And
seem
to be
like they're
clear,
broken out.
Yes, like you could see
Yeah.
the base is still there.
and just to be clear, this was also what seemed to be the source of this magic was coming from. Is that right?
Yes, a very, Bungo's like, when he picks it up, that he's like, that's it. But, the aura's not strong, right? It's very minor.
Okay, sorry. I have. I want to use the story point here for something kind of weird.
Sure.
But just to use one. My character is from SLU and grew up in a tavern, working in a tavern. And I want to use a story point to say that dwarves would come in and out, and he picked up just a little bit of dwarvish, not very much.
Interesting.
And I'd love to do a roll to see if I could, just a couple of words here and there to get, a flavor. I'm a true story point here.
Cool. I
like
really
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sweetness grabs and it's like, I actually know just a little dwarven. If I could, just take a look. I might be able to pick out a few words.
Yeah, I hand it over to him.
All right. So yeah, you're poring over it, and you find an entry. Yeah, you could do an investigation.
Okay. Are you sure? I have expertise.
But also disadvantage.
Disadvantage, yeah. God in heaven.
Well, 10 is average,
Not bad,
right?
It's not bad, but
All right, yeah. Well, I mean, it represents your level of familiarity with the language, right?
It's like memory,
but you do pick up on one of the pages. Corvisa is mentioned among the pages, and there's also a mention of a sum of money.
I'm like, sort of sounding some stuff out.
I like go over and whisper over to Kylam. I'm like, he doesn't speak Dwarven.
What? Making this up. So I see something about Corvisa here.
Oh.
Right, and a mention of 100 gold coins, 100 gold pieces.
I think I'm like, this is either 10 or 100. I think.
And then you find mention, like, there's even blood spatter on a page, and you see a mention, a little poem of grief.
I think this is a dirge or a lament, maybe an elegy.
Nothing so sophisticated.
Okay. A shanty.
Yes, basically a short dwarven shanty for lost comrades. And then it's after that pages go missing. And then the more recent entries you see noticed islands of fire right? So it seems the missing pages were between when you guys first departed Greyhaven and when you arrived in the Blazing Isles.
Well, boys, I think someone took those pages.
Oh,
And they're probably still on this ship.
A query, Zach.
Yes.
I could be wrong, but Bungo doesn't happen to have the comprehend languages spell, does he? I feel like for some reason, unless I'm getting him confused with someone else I played with, I thought maybe he doesn't.
Nope.
Okay.
Nice
No
try.
worries.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like,
hey, good, you know.
wait a minute.
I kind of look and I'm like, probably on this ship. So that leaves Hal, Gilbert, or they're on this other body.
Well, I'll say, you know, you searched using the compass technique, right? You also searched the other body, but there was nothing magical, you know. Leading,
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so Hal or Gilbert. How's your sleight of hand, Kyle? Good?
it's good. Yeah.
That's not sleight of
What?
hand, remember. It's proficiency in thieves'
Kyle,
tools.
That's not a euphemism. I mean the lock.
To pick the
What?
lock.
Pick the lock. Oh, for the thing. Yeah, I could do that.
Bungo could also do it.
Yeah, Bungo might be a little better at it because I think he actually has proficiency in
Right.
the
But
lock
he has
picking
low
tool.
dex, so.
Right. Whereas I'm just sort of.
Someone
trying
would
my
let
best.
me sleep.
I'm sorry.
We just
Pretty
keep
good
finding.
sleight of hand. I'll keep watch and try not to fall asleep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll, you know, if we're still looking for this, I think it is time. I'll make sure that Kuzitz is out of the room and thoroughly distracted.
Gilbert?
While I can. Yes.
Yeah, I'll be with him too.
Yeah. And you know, if you know, what you're supposed to do is that if you think he's approaching, you gotta like start talking really loud and like say a code
Yeah.
word or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I'll get to him before he gets to you. Don't worry.
Yeah, so yeah, I will slip into his. I guess he doesn't have quarters, does he? I don't know. If he
No.
has private quarters.
Again, he has another chest in this sort of room here.
Right. So yeah, I go over there and do some investigating.
And who's keeping watch?
Me.
All right. Why don't you make
I'm
a
barely keeping watch.
perception check for those who keep
Perception
watch.
check. Why, certainly.
I'm gonna do one too, just because I'm enjoying rolling really poorly.
Of course.
18 for moi.
All right. Well, that's pretty good.
Good.
Sweetness, you know, doing okay, right? He's
I don't see him.
yeah. Well, it's not a matter of seeing him, right? You're making sure he's not approaching, you know, at all too close, right? Because the door to the top deck, right, is right here, where this sort of light is coming in. So yeah, you don't want him coming too close in the midst of his duties, but it looks like you're able to, you know, the times that you do hear him closing in, you're sort of everyone. What do you do, Chad, to warn the group when Gilbert is approaching?
Like I said, I think I'm gonna say Gilbert, and I'm gonna go like walk and try to intercept him before he can even get close.
I see. All right. So you
What do you
stride
think
out.
of the Phantom Blue?
I'm just like, tell me, it's been... I'm just joking. Before I say this, and I was about to break my own rule about saying when I'm talking in character. Like, what is your favorite color? It's been gnawing at me. I
The
just...
Phantom Blue wanted to get together and give you a gift.
No, but yeah, I just like walk up and start talking with him, trying to like stall him. I look up and I'm like, you know, being like talking about the weather and the wind, and being like, "Did you notice? It looks like the wind might, you don't suppose it will give us any trouble as we, I'm just bullshitting with him, stalling
Yeah.
him."
Why don't you make a deception check, or a charisma check, and whatever proficiency you think is appropriate here.
Deception seems like what I'm doing, I'd say.
Yeah.
Not that I am great at it.
Meanwhile, Bungo is toiling with the lock, and he's like, I'm not having a good time of this, lads. As he fails his first check. You sure, Kylam? You don't want to take a shot here?
Yeah, I'll try my hand at it. Slide
All right. Yeah. Dexterity. Not sleight of hand, but dexterity using thieves' tools.
Keep that roll.
But it's still a 20, right? Even if you're not proficient. So.
Well, that was a 15. But...
Yeah. All right. So, Kylam, you sort of just slightly tick the tools where Bungo had them, and the lock pops open.
I just shrug like it's the most natural thing in the world that, of course, I can pick a lock. Yeah.
All right, and inside...
Paladins picking locks.
Yeah, right?
Amazing.
For a good cause.
Yeah.
Inside you find a pretty fine jeweled dagger.
Whoa.
That you'd not, Gilbert's never worn around.
Yeah.
It looks like, yeah. As well as he tends to have like finer, like the cloth is a nicer cotton weave, right? The dyes are richer and stuff, so you can tell like Gilbert's got some money, for sure.
I was just looking at his picture, and his picture makes him look like he's got money. He looks like Zeus.
Yeah, and you also find a small bandolier with a few vials in it. And a single platinum Sluish coin.
So, I mean, Bungo's there, so we're gonna just run gesture for him to run the compass over the whole thing.
There's no magic.
Weird. Kind of thought the dagger was gonna be magic. That was... I don't know, I had the instinct on that one.
Bungo could be concealing that fact, of course.
Bungo would never.
Insight check.
Into Bungo?
Contest. Yeah,
Up to
you
you.
can do that.
Up to you.
I'd insight check this.
Just to prove that Bungo's not hiding anything, I will make an insight check. Just to prove it to all you haters out there.
All right. Well,
It's not Bungo I'm worried about. It's his alter ego.
Yeah. Mr. Schizo here.
11. All right, whatever.
Yeah. You believe him. He's like no reason to lie to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a nice dagger. Or it could be a fake. Who knows?
Go from the door. What did you find?
Looks like a dagger, some potions, perhaps. A single
Potions not
coin,
magical?
fine clothes. Oh yeah, I guess potions.
But they're like normal magic, like the
Right.
normal amount of magic we'd expected for potions. Okay.
Yeah.
No diary?
Nope.
Must be on his person.
Yeah. I don't think you
I'll mix up a little sleeping draft.
I mean, well, I put everything back where I
As
found it.
I add, Sweetness is getting strange and he's tired.
He is very delirious at this point. We're not even using our real normal voices anymore.
maybe he got stuck by too many urchin spines.
I don't know. Have y'all ever stayed up for like, a really, really long time? You start to get weird.
I would never. So yeah, I mean, I can put everything back where I found it, and we can close and relock the chest and kind of slip out of here.
All right. Where do you head?
Well, it may be time to report to the captain and just let him know like an update on how we're doing.
Sure.
So
Gilbert's like doing something, and we're all like,
Well, there's now it is now getting into the evening, right? The dark, sky finally away from the constant aurora of the blazing isles. You finally see the stars in their pure shining glory again, interspersed with some clouds now. Yeah, and but the ship, you can hear the waves crashing past. As you go to talk with the captain.
So basically recapping, the main points here are basically that Hal seems to be telling the truth as far as we can tell. The guys who killed him seem to be driven by some sort of emotional thing. Like they seems very intense about it. It's possible that there's a connection to the Emergent Princes of Slew from the coins that we found in both one of their lockers as well as the other guy's locker. I'm sorry. Gilbert's locker, as well as one found in Gilbert's locker. There's some magic that was found on one of the dead guys. Transmutation magic, I think we said.
Mm-hmm. On the diary, right?
On the diary, which is weird and also the diary has some pages missing. So, wait, why is there transmutation? Did we figure out why there's transmutation magic on the diary, guys? Did we deduce that one?
It would take,
Question for the wizard.
Or the druid.
or the bard
not
with
like
his
I
identify
can
spell.
only speculate, but yes, the identify spell. But whatever it is, if some magic is at play here, it could be removed. It could be dispelled. Perhaps that will reveal more.
Do we have someone on the ship capable of doing those things?
I cannot. I don't know how to dispel magic myself. No.
Did you have the identify
Useless.
ritual?
What's that?
Do you have the identify spell or ritual?
Bungo has it.
Ray does.
Yeah. Actually, and now he has
Oh.
all his slots back. He can cast it.
All right.
Some people do that.
Yeah,
Good
that's
thinking,
handy.
Captain. That's why we clued you in.
All right. Bungo. Wait, are you guys doing this on deck? Or again, are you
No,
guys?
we're doing it in the captain's quarters.
Okay. Well, you guys all sort of share quarters together.
I'm in the ship.
Yeah, you guys are just going all around, and Sweetness is like. I mean, the captain has to go slow too, though. So.
Wait, don't
I
any of
think
those
I
leaves
always
you
want to play a
collected?
character with 2 levels of exhaustion.
Don't any of those leaves you collected have like caffeine or anything?
I'm gonna start huffing gunpowder.
Well, you have raw ingredients, not not gunpowder yet.
I know. It's not even called gunpowder in this world.
Right. Doom powder. Sounds like boom powder, but cooler.
Yeah, so we've gone to a private part of the ship.
All
I
right.
unlocked the
So,
door.
Bungo casts Identify on the journal and discovers that the journal can change shape, right? It can sort of morph into similar sized object to conceal itself, basically.
Any particular object or kind of any object?
I guess it's any object that's specified at the casting of or at the use of the kind of conceal effect.
Can we tell if this is its base form or if it's
Yes.
currently being shapeshifted in some way?
This seems to be its base form.
Okay. We found a shapeshifting journal, but it's not shapeshifted. Okay.
Leans in, as I have an idea. Maybe we go and we show it to Gilbert, and we say we found this on one of the bodies, and we do an insight check, and we see if he reacts. If he gets twitchy and fidgety, starts looking up and to the left, we know something's up.
So that makes sense. My concern would be that if our evidence that we're looking for are pages to a journal, if the culprit was foolish enough to hold on to them, they'd probably dispose of them once they became alerted that we were looking for them.
Well, but if our insight check pays out, he won't have time.
Yeah, I mean, yes, if the gambit works. Yeah.
I just don't know. Well, that's Sweetness's suggestion. Open to alternatives.
What do we think? Okay, this might be like a big brain. Varanus, you're a wizard, kinda. Maybe you could big brain your way into answering this question. Is it possible that the removed pages may be in a different form?
Right. It seems plausible, yes. I'm just
Sounds
trying
like
to think.
an Arcana check to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me
Let
too.
the wheels turn. Aha!
Good roll. Good roll.
All right. So,
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Sorry, everyone. We're back. My headphones died, and I had to reset up new audio stuff. So hopefully I sound all right. All right. So our players were investigating this journal, and Varanus set his wizardly mind turning in order to see, right, if the pages ripped out of a transmutation journal, would they retain the magic or the different form, right? Was that the idea?
Yeah. Or even maybe they could be transformed again on their own. Like, I don't even know if maybe the spell just works
Right.
different. Like, you could turn into something else later.
Yeah, frankly, any more revealing information about this particular enchantment or transmutation effect?
Sure.
I guess I should say.
Let's see. Yes. So the journal's power extends to things removed from it. So it seems that even individual pages could be ripped out, changed into something else. Each individual, that's the sort of the maximum, right? You could rip out each page and change each one into a different kind of object.
Okay.
But
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
maybe this is obvious. Maybe this is obvious, but the thing that it's transmuted, like the pages would still be magical. Like they'd still be detectable by like a detect
Yes.
magic kind of thing.
Let's see. I think that's sounds like what. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can rule out anything we've used detect magic on so far. But if they are here, which maybe they aren't, I don't know. But if they are here, we should be able to find them with detect magic.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, he makes a good point where we could at least, once again, sort of homing around with the compass, just see if we can use it to guide our search of something we believe is here, but we just haven't found yet.
Yeah, and so as you guys were, conversing downstairs, you hear thump thump of boots coming, and Gilbert sticks his head in below decks, and he's like, "Hey, no, we looks like we need new hands right here." Wow, he just turned southern. The wind's coming up. We need to trim the sails. Just need a few hands. What are y'all doing down below decks anyway?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know, Gilbert?
So like all of us just like looking at him like.
I know. Okay, I say, yeah, I'm like, wouldn't you like to know? I'll help you, but I'm very tired.
Well, we only need one or two more, so if you want to go rest, we could. Bungo,
Oh,
you could come help
I
out.
won't rest until the case is solved. Bungo, get on it there. We'll hold the compass. Well, he won't let us hold it.
Yeah, Bungo's like, what?
I said, Bungo won't let us have the compass.
You can make a persuasion check,
Bungo, give me the fucking compass.
or give him an order from a superior officer.
Coming in hot with disadvantage and a -1.
No, Bungo's like, no.
It actually just comes out in a slurred mess. I'm just like, give me that. Honey. And he doesn't.
I mean, I'll go with this loser. Does he seem like he's being like genuine here? Like, do I get the sense like he really just needs help with something and he's just being an intrusive pest, or does
You
it
make
seem
an
like
insight
he's like
check.
luring? Yeah, is he luring me away? Like, what's he up to here?
Wow, look at that.
Looky, looky, loo.
The journal, quick.
He was. He seemed to be curious. He was trying to. He was interested in what you guys were up to, basically.
That's
And he's
pretty
not trying to
clear.
distract you necessarily, more as he wanted to maybe, eavesdrop or something.
Okay. Yeah, I think I just kind of, like, clock that, and I look at him, and I'm like, well, you need
Oh
help
yes,
with something.
let's get up to the foremast.
And I just kind of, like, as he goes, I, like, stop and, like, give a little look to the guys before I leave. It's just kind of like, and then I go and follow him.
All right, so you go to help him out. So do the rest of you start combing the ship with the compass? Because Bungo could. Oh no, Bungo was going to help. That's right.
And he's not giving me the compass because my dog ship persuasion roll.
Right. So unless a superior officer maybe orders.
Superior officer. You're not going to order Bungo to give us
You're done. You can let the captain know, and he'll do his captain stuff.
I will ask Bungo very nicely to let me borrow the compass temporarily.
All right. Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
They're trying to take it from you, Bungo.
All right, we didn't get there. Yeah, not so much.
It's just what we'll do it after the sail thing. Come on, guys.
Come on!
He's like up in the he's up in the nets already. He's like tugging at wires or not ropes and and you can feel now also the winds are picking up a little bit and becoming a little more blustery than just the sort of the steady wind you've had for the past day.
All right, I will go to also help with the sails.
All right. So you guys quickly take care of that. But now it is getting sort of later on into the evening now. Probably you guys have been sailing roughly since noontime, and it's probably 10, 12 p.m. now. Yeah.
All right. So.
But if you want to
Probably
search the
good.
ship, you can still do that.
Let's see it done.
All right. Is there a way you're going to go about it? You guys are going to be subtle?
We should come up with like a cover story or something. We're concerned that they put tracking, like Blackrett's tracking devices or something.
That makes sense.
Magical tracking devices?
Yeah, I would like to come up with a more fantasy version of that phrase.
Scrying. A scrying.
Right. Scrying.
You could blame it on me and say, we think we might have picked up on a potential scrying artifact somewhere, and we need to search around for it.
Potential
I buy it.
To
scrying.
make it clear, nobody's to move. Everybody's to kind of stay where they are, like at least in the same zone that they're in,
Yeah.
because we can't have people like accidentally moving things around. Accidentally.
That's fair.
Yeah. So why don't Bungo will make an investigation check, and how about someone else do it as well?
I have disadvantage.
Bungo's not doing very well.
Fairness?
Okay. I will do one.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys come up with nothing. It takes,
Cool. Let's go to bed.
Yeah, you work for an hour, right, combing the
We're
ship.
not on this boat.
Think of
no.
this session, we've just descended into madness conspiracy theory, and we have nothing to show for it here.
Hey, you have a magical journal with missing pages.
That is true. We do have that.
So,
Yeah.
Well, maybe they just threw him overboard, ripped him out and hucked him into the ocean.
Seems entirely yes.
Plausible.
Anyway,
I think our character, if we were to believe this, we'd be like, oh, we tried. We
90, like 90 neuters.
Again, the only thing left I can think to do is if we are really convinced that it has something to do with Gilbert, would be to be like, we were searching the bodies and found this. Do you know anything about it? And just see how he reacts.
Sure, we could do that.
All right, I'm all for it. I
Do
would
that.
love to insight check. But,
Sorry, Captain, what'd you say?
right, yep.
If you're gonna do that, bring it to the captain first.
Yeah, this is the time to talk to the captain, for sure.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got the full takeaway, and
Yeah.
we're okay. So we're curious about the journal, and we're curious about Gilbert, but we don't. We think Hal is completely. We don't feel like we need to investigate Hal anymore.
We're like 80% sure about how.
That's good enough for 2 levels of exhaustion. So let's get Gilbert up here, and I will say, with all of you guys sort of around here, and Gilbert up here at the helm. I will say-
Captain,
Oh,
this is-
that was
this-
accurate. I will say, Gilbert, what do you know about the 2 men that were killed? And I will detect some thoughts.
You've had to detect thoughts the whole time.
I have had detect thoughts the whole time, but you guys are having fun with your little dungeons and
what
Sherlock
did.
Holmes.
To be clear, we did stop having fun about 30 minutes ago.
You could have said something.
Okay.
I didn't know you had
So,
thoughts.
does he need to make a saving throw? Or you just learn the surface thoughts. Okay. So, Gilbert, he seems like, he comes up and he's like, oh, Captain, it's almost shift ends, eh? It's almost time to, Gilbert, to knock off. And so, but then you go and, you ask about it. He's like, Captain, can we talk about this in the morning? Been at the mast all day, but you can feel in his mind, his surface thoughts are, what do I know about them, is that Gilbert and them were fairly close, I guess. They've worked a lot of jobs together. He feels, sad for their loss, but also guilty, right? Yeah. So that's the surface.
And what was their motivation? Do you know? Any idea?
Captain, I couldn't tell you, honestly. I was on watch. I was doing my duty. Right, I was on watch top deck, and I don't know. It could be, maybe in the past, I recall now them saying something about, Black Rift, blah, 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 just bad-mouthing, because Black Rift led some bad blood hundreds of years ago when they conquered Greyhaven.
Yeah, so my spell has a time limit, so I'm gonna say yes. What do I detect for his thoughts?
You detect that. Let me see. You should learn the service thoughts. Moment. So, are you trying to probe
What do you know
deeper,
about
or
the
are you
journal? Okay, what do you?
just going for more surface thoughts?
I'm gonna go for a more surface thought, and I'm gonna ask him, like, is he telling the truth there? That he doesn't, about him not knowing what they could, that what they were up to, what caused them to.
There seems to be some untruth to that.
And then I will probe.
Okay, you can't tell specifically unless you probe. Yeah.
Yeah, I will probe, and
all
I will
right,
take a story point.
Ooh.
Let's go.
All right, Gilbert makes a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage because of your story point.
Well, I'm exhausted. Oh, that's right. It's not. I'm not making.
Right, he's making the saving throw. Yes.
Clever.
All right, so you probe into Gilbert's mind. How does it feel when you're doing? What does it feel like to you? What does it feel like to them?
I don't know. So men who have been sort of at sea, seamen as it were, when they get a real talking to from a senior officer, they're supposed to like stand very still at attention, and then they get stared at and they get chewed out, and like it feels kind of like that. Like he definitely knows Omar and is like staring into him. And for Amaran, it just sort of kind of feels exhilarating. Like in like a weird he's not kind of sure if he's okay with it, right? But he's gonna do it. So it just feels really, really uncomfortable. Like you know, a senior officer is making him like tell him something he doesn't want to tell.
All right, interesting. So you're probing deeper, and you start feeling, you catch the flash of pages flying in the wind, and relief.
And a relief. So I say the journal.
What? I don't. What are you talking about, Captain? What journal?
And can one of you guys like pull it out?
Yeah.
Pull it out of my armor, like.
Pull out my journal.
What was contained in the pages that were lost to the wind?
Well, at that point, after you probe, he gets to make a intelligence check, contested by yours.
I am on ability checks. I'm gonna use another story point on this.
Ooh, all right.
Do it.
Leaving you guys with only one currently.
Yay.
Well, that's pretty good. And
that's
that wasn't.
pretty bad.
All right, so you keep probing deeper, and now, Gilbert seems unable to withstand the force of your elven mind. Right, your mind is just, it's a different shape, right, than the mind of humans, and it's more cutting and forceful in a lot of ways. So you're using it to probe through, and you then catch a scene of Gilbert, whispering into one of the deckhand's ears, that Hal's gonna turn on us someday. Might be a good idea to take care of him before that day comes. Didn't they enslave one of your ancestors? And so you hear that these whispered things coming from Gilbert.
And then Amaran is gonna say one last thing. Why kill your own man?
Draw on my weapons, by the way, or like I have my hand on my axe and my sword, because all we're hearing is the verb of like, why'd you kill somebody?
Gilbert looks around, and you're all here, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you see a hand maybe go down slightly towards his robe, but it stops as he looks around. He's like, "All right. Well, you got me. What do you
Pull
want?"
his mask off, and it's.
Why did you kill your own?
Oh, well, that was just evidence. Loose end,
Strip
we
his
might say.
possessions and throw him in the brig. We can question him
What?
further later.
I know. Why don't you just dump me off like... Oh, no, you're in the middle of the ocean now. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly
whatever
that.
you say, Captain. I just beg of your mercy. I didn't think we could trust Hal, and
Oh my God.
but I was
Could've
keeping
pinned
my
you.
own hands clean. You can understand, right?
I mean, he does understand. Omarin is so tired right now. He's been up for however many hours.
Captain, you
It's
should
been
just
ages
get some
since
rest. We'll revisit this in the
Yeah,
morning.
since he's been to a rave, so Omarin just like is grumpy and exhausted and just says strip him of his possessions and take him to the brig.
So you guys don't
Someone
actually
please
have a brig,
keep
FYI.
watch.
We don't have a brig.
No.
We could kick Hal out of his room and lock him in there.
Yeah.
But no, there's hold space basically. You can throw him in
All
a
right,
hold.
we'll like hastily construct one and
Put him in manacles and everything.
Sure.
Under the mast.
someone keep watch.
Not me.
All right. Well, I feel like since you're taking the initiative to build him a secure location, I'll need a check with some carpenter's tools, which luckily the bosun...
Yeah, he's all about that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's good.
All right, he does a fair job, quick.
You have to build a wall, right?
Right. It's and we're gonna have someone posted here, right, guys? We're not just gonna leave him. Yeah. So this will be good enough. How far do you relieve him of his possessions?
But fucking naked.
We'll leave him with some dignity, like his outer vestments, and then give him like a proper good, like awkward, like hands where they shouldn't go, pat down.
I see.
But he gets to keep his dignity.
Yep. Correct.
Do we find anything?
Well, who's making the investigation check?
Well, I mean, we're just stripping him down. Is it an investigation?
Well,
or
but
is
there was
it-
padding
One of you
going
should probably
on.
make an investigation check.
Bungo should do it. This is a thing that Bungo should be good at. His dex-
No, I mean that's not really his thing, but
To be clear, Varanus probably has the best one amongst us.
I mean, I'll happily do it. What is this, an investigation?
I mean I think Sweetness can roll too. He is
I'll
the
do
doctor
it.
after all.
Yeah, but we can. But two people can take off clothes. 13.
All right.
12.
Yeah. Well, you don't find. Yeah, and there's nothing you guys find
Well,
on
we're gonna
his.
do detect magic on that shit, obviously. And him. Bungo, go ahead.
You do find some magical signal
Where?
in his loincloth.
In his
I'm a
loincloth.
doctor. I don't care. I reach right in there.
You feel
Wow,
around.
This guy has a magic dick.
What do I
And-
feel?
You pull out a small, stone about 2 inches long.
wonder what this could
like
be.
piece of onyx. Yeah.
And I show it to my friends and say, this, my friends, is called an anal bead.
He's like, it gets lonely out on the sea, man. Jeez.
I respect
think-
his effort for trying.
And Bungo's like,
I hold my fingers up by
That's-
Kylem's
that's
nose
the
slot
one.
helmet. Does
Uh,
he smell anything?
Is this maybe actually transmutated into something else?
It does seem to be. That's
Then let's
where the magic is.
turn it back into what I can only assume is a journal page. Maybe.
Should we watch it first? You can't watch it once it's pages.
Let's just get it over with, huh?
Go up, kid. Just transmute the object. Omarin wants to go to bed.
Well, Gilbert's like, look,
Thought he drew them.
maybe through most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Maybe
you
there
might
was
as
a
well
reason
just
he
throw it
wanted it.
overboard. I'm not gonna tell you the word. And by now your mental
I reach
probe
back
is
into his pants and I grab his dick.
wow.
What are you
All right.
I'm heading out for a sailor, and at some point, Omarin will rest, and then Omarin will figure out what the word is because he can detect thoughts. So,
Say, Archetypes can detect your puny thoughts.
Omarin's not worried.
This piece of
Wow.
Rig,
balls of good
figure
earned.
out.
Sweetness, make an intimidation check
Make a molestation check.
with strength though, using strength because you are squeezing.
Here's my disadvantage. Hey!
Oh, hey, it's still he's like, let's have Gilbert. How does he withstand this torture?
I'm a doctor too. I know just how to squeeze those.
He's like, no. Actually, that shouldn't have been deception. That should have been con-based check.
Whatever.
All right, reroll. All right, so he's like, oh damn it, Doc. Oh. It's Fluffer. And
I
you
ripped my hand out of his pants. And I... What did you call me?
What is? Oh boy.
I was not bluffing you. When he says it, does it?
yes, the bead sort of almost unrolls, like the rock sort of unrolls, and then it transforms into a piece of parchment.
Let me guess. Written in Dwarven.
Yep.
Fucking Christ.
But from what you can make out, at least an initial glance, Sweetness, this seems to just contain some details about the deal that the deckhand made with Gilbert, or the, Gilbert's influence on the deckhand. But, a more thorough look could yield more.
Okay. Well, thank you, Gilbert. Enjoy your time in the brig.
Aren't you gonna finish the job?
All right. I stick my hands back in there and I give him a finisher.
What are you
Wow.
Sweetness does make that joke. He's like, "I'll finish you, you cretin."
So he goes to the brig, right? Gets locked up all good and manacled, and
Yep, you see him. He's looking sad. Almost naked. Bruised testicles. Sort of. He's like, sort of in a curled up, sitting up fetal position kind of look as you guys close Close the door on him. Who's gonna stay on watch for him?
I wash my hands.
Well, Bungo got a full night's sleep, right? Can we just have Bungo keep watch?
Oh yeah,
like,
Bungo's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll
Sing him every song you know.
well, I don't want to disturb everybody on board. You know, I've got a resinous voice.
That's true. It does carry.
All right,
We did it, guys.
you guys did it.
What a caper. We can't read them, but
All right.
what a caper. Maybe Hal can read Dwarvish.
He
Well,
cannot.
next time we stop in a town, we could, hire someone to translate it or something. I mean, if we really want to tie up all the loose ends, we can later.
Torture this guy.
Yeah, there's
just
more
wanna
torture.
Squeeze his balls
involved.
again. That's what this is about, isn't it?
It's been a long voyage.
Yeah. So let's go to bed, huh?
My character wants
Yes.
very badly to go to sleep.
Everyone can take a successful long rest.
Wowie.
So I go down to 1 level of exhaustion.
Yes.
Ugh. God. Can I wake up and go back to bed?
You could try to take a double shift, but that might leave the rest of the crew short-handed.
I could be like, wake me if you need me, but I want to be here. Making my disadvantaged skill checks.
Yep.
I sure wish that the levels were half your speed, level 1, level 2, disadvantage on all your skill checks.
Well, see, I think half your speed is worse in combat, right? And then combat is what they're
Yes.
yeah.
That's what they're worried about, yeah.
Right. No, but that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Anybody out there in Twitch, you can chime in to see what you think. Not that anybody will respond, but anyway, is everyone done their full rest? Long rest.
I have.
Yes.
Vernus, have you?
Oh, no, I didn't mean to actually click that.
All right.
Too bad. You have to mark it. Mark it. You lost it.
What were you...
No, nothing.
What were
All
you
right.
saying?
So in the
At the beginning of the day when I'm at full health already.
Mark it 0.
as just the faintest hint of dawn is on the eastern horizon. Just not even sun, just the slightest shade of purple instead of black in the sky. Who would take this last of the night's watch on above deck?
After trancing for 4... Oh, go ahead, Colin. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I assume I would for the same reason you were getting at.
Sure. Kylum, you see from the sort of early morning mists that hang over the water, black sails.
Does Blackcraft have black sails?
Yes.
Okay. I alert
Black
the crew.
sails on your stern.
Enemies on the stern.
How far?
How far?
Oh, I will run up and investigate. Go up to the crow's nest, do one of the things, and what do I see?
All right. Well, make me a perception check with disadvantage due to the lighting condition.
I think I'll rush up
So,
and... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and actually, Hal is up on deck now too. He was taking his turn at the helm. And he's like, Captain, should I rouse the crew with the bell, or are we gonna play this quiet?
I was gonna summon the Phantom crew if they're not here.
Sure, you could summon them for the new day, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Zach, as a druid, I might know what creatures have particularly keen vision, especially at night or in twilight. Can you think of what creature would I know to turn into for that?
An owl.
An owl. I can't turn into flying things. Is there like a land creature that has particularly good
Maybe
vision?
like a leopard or something like that might be in your...
No, they're not particularly keen. They are more, smell, right? Because, not many land creatures their eyesight isn't their best quality aside from humans and elves, right? As an elf, right? Your just base elf form is probably going to be better than...
Okay.
Cheetahs do have good vision.
Cheetahs, really? Oh,
I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
I just did the same thing, and yes, cheetah.
What's your CR?
But I don't... Are you familiar with cheetahs?
I know.
Yeah.
I don't. No.
Get a fucking spyglass!
You could turn into a water-based creature.
We have one.
Yeah, don't we have a spyglass?
We do.
Sailors.
Oh. Oh, well, I guess I'll just use the spyglass and roll it as an elf. Whatever. Do it. Whatever.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
That's cool, but I'll do it. Alright.
Also, a cheetah CR.
All right, so you can make a perception check normally without disadvantage because spyglass cancels it. So you don't get much.
Oh, Jack, I could use my familiar to help.
Yeah, if you want to use one of your wild shape uses.
That sounds like a good idea.
Sure. But so yeah, the ships you can see are roughly 800 feet away.
That's it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, and they have full sail up?
Oh yeah. And oars.
And oars?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I send a telepathic message to everybody on the crew that is raise all sail quickly as possible.
Oh.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, we're rushing about, just like raising the sails, getting ready.
All right, so you guys stumble out of bed, right? Leaping. Bungo's like, should I go? Should I help? Or should I guard the prisoner?
Stay there, Bungo.
All right.
God.
Great. So why don't everyone give me... Yeah, why don't this be athletics check for everyone except whoever's plotting course, right? Omarin or Hal. Yeah.
I'll block the curse.
Coming in hot. Disadvantage. Oh, yeah.
Disadvantage on everything.
I have so many skills.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it's not sun sickness this time.
That's
No,
true.
but the majority of you and I guess Hal will also Hal is also helping as well as the Phantom crew, right? I assume you disperse them.
Oh yeah.
To do their
They
thing.
they're
Yeah,
getting
so
after
you
it.
guys are able to start raising sail. However, the ships do close in while you guys are doing that. So you guys, you get up to full sail now, but they are making steadier progress. And let me take some
Let's
dynamic lighting
their
down.
asses.
I would like to, Zach,
Yes.
we'll see how this plays out. So Omarin is gonna sort of stand right here behind the main mast.
Uh-huh.
He's never tried this before, he's always wanted to.
Yeah.
They clearly seen us, right?
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
if you take a look in that direction.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, there's 2 of them?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Pair
Oh, there's only one of our ship.
with 2 levels though.
Yeah.
Let's lead.
This.
Oh, you're using warding wind to.
I'm using warding wind. Gust of wind is
Interesting.
for amateurs. This is the real deal.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'll go man the scorpion thing.
Oh, the ballista. Yeah.
That
The
won't help
ballista.
if you're chasing us.
Right. Well,
Well,
yeah.
we're gonna try to fight them. Oh, look, they very smartly have their ballista at the back of the boat.
Well, one of them does. The other, yeah.
Oh, it has its at the front. Wow, they're really mixing it up.
This is their job. This is what they do. Yeah. So, as you guys, start catching the wind, Omarin lays in another course, or a good course for you guys. I mean, Sweetness, as you guys are sort of turning around. Well, actually, sorry, the ballista is just at its
Let's
long
make sure
range.
it's loaded, and if we need
Okay.
it, we can. Yeah.
Right, you're just all right preparing. Cool.
Yep.
All right, so yes, you guys, they are now coming at your stern. Omarin, we're gonna do a contested water vehicles check. Unless you want to do anything more specific or different, right? You're casting your wind. What else is everyone else doing? And Sweetness is loading the ballista.
I mean, I'd like to just command the Phantom crew to help and maybe help assist with, like I can. I'm also proficient in water vehicles. Maybe I can help assist in some way.
Sure.
We also have the list of maneuvers that we could
Right.
suggest.
There's the crew orders stuff. If you guys have
right.
any of that handy, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Omar, make me a water vehicles check.
I don't have a proficiency on my sheet for that. I'm
Oh,
just gonna
I think
go for it.
interesting. Okay. So, well,
I
how
don't
are you
navigate.
how are you handling the ship? Right? Are you trying to basically just put all speed?
I was steering the ship.
Oh, okay.
And Omarin's just sort of fucking standing there like, I don't know, like wind Jesus trying to just like give oomph to the sails.
I see. Well, in that case, you're gonna have to, because warding wind is only a 10-foot radius. You're gonna need to climb up into the rigging.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Right. So I'm gonna have you make a athletics check to do so.
Can I use acrobatics instead?
Sure. Yeah, because basically, yeah, finding a good perch and balancing there rather than. Sure, that's fine.
Do I have disadvantage on this?
You do, because you're still exhausted 1.
You
Right.
sure do.
Let's see how we do with some acrobatics. Not great. Not his best day.
Oh boy.
Woo!
Onesie.
Yeesh. Let's see. You have anything to prevent you from falling?
I'll catch you, Captain.
Just my skill as a seaman, but not really. I mean, he clearly didn't get that high.
Right. Well, I guess. Well, no, the acrobatics, because I assume you could get up there pretty well, but it's more like fixing
it's
yourself.
Holding on.
Yeah, in a good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll say you were 30 feet up. That sounds good.
Story point, I'll try to catch the captain with a disadvantage string check.
If you want, that is your...
If he's gonna fall, and
Last story
I'm not
point.
doing anything because I'm pretty much useless on the ship.
I
Other than
thought
when
you were
people are back
manning
up
the.
there. Oh no,
I
I
thought-
just load.
Oh.
Because
He
it's
prepped it.
facing the wrong direction. I will try to catch the cap.
All right.
Can I try to catch?
Yeah, so give me a strength saving throw. No, just give me an athletics check with disadvantage for your exhaustion.
We have one story point left.
Yes.
I can't
Yeah.
decide if it would be more embarrassing if he caught Omarin or if Omarin just fell to the deck.
Especially with him trying to catch you.
It's like,
He just runs up and is too late, and you're just like
I,
splintered through the deck. He blew our last story point
I
on
don't
it.
care. I'm using this story.
Go for it, dude. Go for it.
Yikes.
Oh,
All right, so
boy.
Omarin, you fall and crunch into the deck for 13 damage.
13 damage.
Yep.
Oh,
Fell 30 feet.
I tried.
All right. Varanus, you were helping...
Yeah.
Did you say you
no.
were helping
Guess I make
steer?
a concentration check
Oh, yeah, you do.
with disadvantage.
Oh, is it saving throws too?
So it's
No, not saving
Constitution.
throws. No. So
Oh.
yeah, you roll this with normally. It's only skill checks, right? Nice. All right. So you're still concentrating. Of course, none of you can hear the captain cursing his,
Yes, you
bruised
can.
ankle.
You can hear it with my
Oh,
when I
right.
say your heads.
I'm assuming I got close enough to just miss him.
Yeah, sure.
You got brownie points for trying though. We never thought, our expectations were low to begin, but you gave it a valiant effort.
Uh, so Hal made a check.
Picture that.
Let's see about the opposite captain. Oh, he only got a 13. Ah, Hal. I guess the captain's wind helped enough to keep you guys to actually gain a little distance on them. So they are back out to 800 feet. If they go beyond that, you guys basically can lose them. But you now hear a voice carried on the wind. Seems to be a familiar voice.
Sea god.
No. Cease your flight, mortals, and surrender the compass, lest ye all perish.
Captain Catapult.
No, it didn't sound like Percy Captain. Sounded more elven.
Who did it sound like?
Is it the far elf prisoner?
Maybe. It's hard to tell, because this voice is being, carried on the wind from a distance at sea. It's...
Gilbert.
Okay. So Hal did the vehicle check, right?
Yes, so he gained some, a little distance on them. But... as you see that, you suddenly a great... their ship seemed to pick up unprecedented speed as I spend 2 story points as their ships close into closer range, and at the bow of one of them you indeed see the almost slightly luminescent figure of the far elf that you met on the island. Let's...
Should have killed you when we had the chance.
Agreed.
Just saying.
Just to remind everyone, this is the far.
That looks great.
Yeah.
That looks good.
So why don't we go ahead and So as their ships just have this burst of speed, you can see their rowers are churning harder and harder. You know, the sea is turning white under their beats, and the voice calls again. Stow your sails, or else we shall fire upon you, and you will know the power of Black Rift.
Zach,
Yes.
how long do I think it would take me to try to mix up something like Doom Powder?
Indeterminate. But
Indeterminate, like to...
well, I mean, you know, I could see you doing it hastily.
Especially with a bunch of disadvantage checks.
In a
This is
couple
probably
rounds,
terrible.
right? You could get, if you get down to your workshop, get the supplies, right? Try and measure something as best you can. It would definitely take a couple.
I meant just something that will explode.
Yeah, but you'll have enough time to try it before they close.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is like...
But
okay, I think...
this would be like a craft alchemy, or an alchemist tools check.
There's no magical way to remove exhaustion. Anybody?
Greater restoration,
Greater restoration,
which is a 5th level spell. Yeah.
Yep. 4th level.
No, 5th level spells
Okay.
you don't get till 9th level.
Oh, you don't?
Right.
That's right. Okay.
So you're gonna head below deck. Does
I am.
Captain? What are the orders?
Captain, I have an idea.
Well, see if you can make it work. Is
Okay.
there on us? I think we keep running, but prepare for a fight. There's no way we're backing down. If they catch us, we're gonna make them catch us.
All
I
right.
got a question. Does it
Yeah.
seem like they could close on us within a round or so at the rate?
No, it would take sort of a couple
Okay.
minutes narrative time.
Then I think that gives me a pretty clear idea of what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Yeah. How do you guys prepare? Right. It looks like with their rowing and their sails, they're just over relatively short distances. They
Yeah.
will outpace your ship.
Well, I'm looking at the ship's mage actions here.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ones it can do is control currents.
Mm.
You can summon a strong current that propels the ship forward. Can be performed once per day by a spellcaster of levels 1 through 10. So basically, I want to, try and manipulate the current to see if we can't give ourselves a chance to outpace them, basically.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely give Hal advantage on his piloting check, basically against the contested.
Am
check.
I understanding this right? We can just do these things that are listed in here?
Um,
if it's within our roll, or we roll?
Basically, you're only allowed to give a certain number of them in any given round. So basically, with the amount of crew you have, your ship can do 2 actions. Can take those 2 actions. Two of those actions around. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So you're gonna mess with the currents.
Yeah.
Captain, are you gonna try to get back into the sails?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can make this work.
Or are you gonna fly some flags? Try to do something nautical.
I'm gonna just try to climb up into the sails this turn, and then I shall attempt to command some maneuvers from that position.
All right. Give me another acrobatics check here. As as your own wind, right, is making it harder for you to stay up there because it's, blasting around. Oh, much better. All right, so Omarin finds a perch amidship. His raging wind. How long does that last? 10 minutes. His raging wind adding some speed to your sails. Omarin, Varanus, how does your magic, what does it look like when it starts affecting these tides?
Yeah, I think I just start summoning coalescences of wind that just look like an invisible force is spreading the fanning the water of the current outward and just making it almost like flattening out the water a bit in our direct path, just to allow the ship to cut through it even easier.
Right. Smooth sailing.
So it just looks like this strange invisible trail in front of our ship's path.
Cool. All right. And what about Kylan? What's Kylan up to?
I'm just getting ready to fight. In case they do catch up to us. I'm casting all my buff spells on myself. So that's the water thing, and then also the protective shield, divine shield thing. And just getting ready to probably just teleport over to one of their ships when they get close. But for now, I'm just preparing.
All right. Kylan asking Carinus' blessings upon you, right? Guarding yourself with the powers of the Wave Runner. Sweetness, what do you do to prepare for a fight?
Well, we don't have much crew, so a lot of my ship surgeon maneuvers won't really apply. But I think, I'll prepare this sort of maybe last-ditch effort, or maybe first-ditch effort.
Yeah, first-ditch, really.
A kind of explosive that we could perhaps fire over there and ignite one of the ships on fire before it gets too close.
So why don't make me a intelligence check with alchemist tools if you're proficient.
I am.
Alchemist supplies.
There's
Ooh.
Okay.
Here it is.
You do. I mean, you're hopeful, right? The trick is how are you going to make it explode? Like, I assume you're going to attach it to the ballista bolt, but how's it going to explode?
So I had a couple of thoughts here, and I'm open to suggestions from the crew that perhaps it would be in a small barrel that could attach to a ballista bolt that you would fire at the ship so it would drag it. But we might need a kind of fuse. I mean, could I look at the I don't know.
The boomsticks?
Attach a candle to it?
I mean, we have pitch and stuff that we light our torches with, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering. I mean, we could just honestly probably light the outside of the barrel on. That's kind of risky. Light something on fire, beforehand. Does anyone have flaming sphere? If it just,
Yeah. If you're trying to deliver a thing to a particular place and light it on fire, Omarin can help you.
Okay, Captain. I am trying to do that. What do you got?
See how it goes.
Bungo is also going to give the ship one of his bardic inspirations because his class is allowed to do that. He's basically, he's humming to the ship, right? He's watching on guard, but he's singing his own shanty to the ship. Speed us away, cerulean wind. Never let those black rifts catch us in the bottom.
Yeah.
And he keeps going. That's not it, right? That's just where the
Jack,
camera
I
moves away.
applaud that as a shanty. I think it's wonderful.
All right. So, so Sweetness, yeah, you're carrying up your little barrel with your like pitch, cork stopper kind of contraption. You attach it to the ballista, but you're gonna have to wait if you want the best shot with the ballista. You're gonna have to wait.
If someone else has another magical way, of just projecting it, if they get close, I'm also open to that. I'm not wed to the ballista.
Sure. But the ballista would be able to shoot it at 100 feet.
Yeah.
Without rolling disadvantage.
That might be harder for. I don't know what Amaran has in mind for how to ignite it.
Have you ever seen those videos where the Navy trains SEALs to attach mines to the bottom of ships?
No.
Oh, well, so the U.S. Navy has trained both SEALs and dolphins to attach mines to the bottom of ships, and then they swim away and the mines explode. It's very cute. Marin could turn into a seal and or a dolphin, so...
Oh!
But how does he carry the explosive without...
It's in a barrel.
Right.
The barrel floats, and it's this little thing, and he just, like, tows the rope in his mouth, and then, like, deposits it, and then swims very, very fast.
Is he also going to light it? Or is someone going to light it before he brings it over?
Probably someone light it before he brings it over. That's the safest bet. Nice long fuse in there, see if it works.
I don't know.
I can try to make a fuse.
I mean, if
I'll say with your
check.
check, I'll say you made, as long as you can, figure out an actual explanation, sure.
I can.
It works.
I mean, if you're putting it in the water, that does seem a little more complicated for how the fuse is not going to get wet. Can you drop it as a bird?
He can't fly.
Oh, you can't fly.
Bungo gives you...
Why don't we just light the fuse and shoot it over there?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, yeah, if they get
But
close.
this idea of
the
delivering
flaming,
something over
the
there
lit
is-
barrel would also prove
It's
a, pretty easy target, in the dark waters. For the
So I gotta
rifters.
say though, Zach, if the elves couldn't hit it at Helm's Deep, I don't think the elves can hit it here.
Well, these are black rifters, not just elves. Have you know?
I mean, are they as good a shot as?
Legos,
We can use the ballista and shoot it. If they get close, we'll just try to shoot it over there and with the fuse, and then hopefully ignite the ship on fire. At least the sail.
There is a ship's action called what is it called? Sacrifice to the Gods. The ship has a rowboat, and the target ship is within 200 feet. Reduce the crew complement by 2 and deduct 1 rowboat from the ship's manifest. 2 sailors take a rowboat and attempt to ram the target ship, which I guess Amaran could just do because he's an elf that can turn into sea creatures. Make a CQ check to the target. Oh, if the rowboat hits, the target ship takes 8d10 fire damage.
So basically, you want to make a rowboat bomb.
Make a rowboat bomb, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Could Phantom Crew do that?
For sure.
We probably want them back on the ship, though.
But I mean, 2 of them just to go and row
Well,
the boat.
no, they
and
can't do
not
that.
die?
They have to go all together, or
Oh.
be
It's way more fun when the PCs do that.
Yeah. Well, good thing you have a
Put an
guy that
entire
can run on
fucking boat in
water
the road, eh?
and another guy that can.
Yeah, Kyle, this
Swim
will
in
be a
water.
great elf bud adventure. Like, this will be funsies for us.
I'm in.
And Bungo's below
All right.
deck, so he can't
Here's
protest
the barrel.
against the
This is the
destruction of his
fuse.
rowboat.
Alright.
He would very much protest this, but he's
Would
singing
it get
his shit.
more damage with my bomb in it as well?
Well,
'Cause
you know,
separate
I'll say
things,
that
you
that was
maneuver.
the mechanism by which this became possible.
But he said the sacrifice thing that does its own damage.
Right. Well, but I'll say the thing you came up with, unless you want to shoot it separately.
Well, if it will do more damage.
Or you want to
shoot
put them both
separately,
together.
Yeah.
All right.
I see what you mean.
Who?
All right.
You.
Here,
I think
this
I
is
see
this is
you're
what
saying.
we'll do. You can do them separately. If you do them together, right, it won't add as much damage as the potential of hitting both separately. So you can add it
What
to
do you
one.
think, Captain?
What?
I think the robo thing is going to be spectacular and cool, and we should put all of our eggs in one basket. And hope it plays out.
Is that what the captain did?
That's
what the
captain's
captain
orders.
All right, captain's orders.
All
Get
right,
them
you're
there.
the captain. Get the rowboat settled in. So you guys.
The whole thing.
Lowering them down.
So the captain's still sort of standing there, like, you know, Jesus blowing the wind to the last possible minute. How much additional closing time duration, Zach, do I think this warding wind is giving us? How effective is it being?
Overall, not super. Partially
Okay.
because, yeah, you're only hitting one. You know, you can really only hit one sail with the wind that this spell uses, right? So yeah, you're only giving one sail an extra boost, and because again, and you notice this now as you're looking back trying to see their position, right? And you can see they're stealing some of your wind, right? Because they're behind you, they're chasing, they're feeding off the wind, right? Isn't that a thing? I thought that was a thing.
Yeah, but if the point of wind is swirling within 10 feet of Omarin, it's not.
Well, no. But I mean, they're stealing your wind.
800 feet isn't close enough.
No,
You have to be
okay.
like 20 feet away.
Oh.
But yes, we'll say it works for
All right.
speed purposes.
Well, maybe there's strange magics involved. Who knows? Yeah, they're still closing. So you said you got to wait till 200 feet, right? To
Basically, yeah.
to drop or to get the rowboat ready. All right, Kylum, are you guys rowing in the rowboat, or is Omarin you going to transform and Kylum rows?
Yeah, that sounds like a
Yeah.
plan. Yeah,
You can
that
pull
sounds
my rope.
cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Omarin will push you.
I'll pull you. Yeah. All right, so Kylum, you settled yourself into this very dangerous rowboat, heavily laden with all sorts of pitch, with some of this knockoff doom powder, off-brand doom powder, hastily made.
Kylum, as you get in the dinghy, you put up a white flag and just yell, "I've come to parlay!"
No, that's a war crime.
I mean,
I'm proud. I'm not gonna do that.
pirates!
They are
Okay.
pirates. They are pirates. You're not wrong. You're not too wrong. It's a
You're not
little
gonna do
tasteless.
For ethical reasons?
It's a little tasteless, yeah.
Oh. Come off it.
I mean,
What?
I think it's cool that he's
What?
not.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not gonna do that. There's real reasons why you wouldn't do that. I'm not gonna do it.
Why are there so that
Then
you
they
don't
don't-
get...
No, because then they're more likely to kill surrendering people.
Okay.
Like other surrendering people.
We're
More
trying to
dots.
kill them so that they can't kill us.
Yeah, we may not get all of them.
If we get most...
All right, so you're turning into a dolphin. I believe your wild shape, went up to at this level.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, you
Can I
can
now
go
do
to.
flying creatures?
No, you can't do flying creatures. This is the level you would normally have been able to do swimming creatures, but you got them earlier.
Oh, and I can do CR 1/2 now, right?
Yes. So I don't know if there's anything in mind. We'll maybe worry about that more next session or whatever. But we'll pull out a nice little porpoise for you.
What CR is a sperm whale?
Feels like it'd have to be like
5
6
or
or 7
yeah.
or something.
Okay.
I think a shark is like 5.
That.
Well, no, a megalodon is 5, like a big shark. Other sharks are usually reef sharks are half, I think. Blood sharks or whatever. Hunter sharks are CR2. Okay, so Kylum loaded up. You start rowing.
Yeah.
While Omarin
And the good news
starts
is,
pulling.
remember, we got story points back because Zach
Right, you now
used
have
some.
2 story points. All
This
right.
feels like a good time to use it.
So you guys are going out, and both of you with your elven eyes can see the disappointed look on the far elf's face as she sees you, launching some ridiculous gambit.
Yeah.
Which ship are you going to be headed for? Her ship?
Oh,
or
the one
other?
that she's on.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely the one that she's on.
Okay, and she calls out, and again, her voice seems to be carried on the wind in a very, this is not normal, right? It's like her voice travels hundreds of feet and, reaches your ship. So maybe, again, aided by magic, she's like, I pity and all of you, very disappointing, your commitment to resistance. Don't you just see? This is... You can't outlast us here. We are going to claim the fallen star. And she steps back so you can no longer see her on the deck, but then rolling up... Oh, I should go here with the camera just to get the moment. Rolling up at the bow of her ship, you see a large metal tube.
Oh no.
Darby cannons.
And
But past wording wind.
And I'm underwater. I'm like,
a massive thunder peal breaks out as the cannon arc, and you see this gout of smoke, right? Just plume of smoke appear in front of their ship. Who's got the ship sheet open wants to know the AC. Ooh. Looks like it might be a miss.
The cerulean wind's AC is.
Where's the ship sheet at?
It's in the resources. Yeah, it's 15. So you
15.
do miss.
You guys aboard ship hear this whizzing, almost like there's a pack of rabid bees just zooming past the ship as some projectile, too fast to see, arcs over the starboard side.
Yelled, Kylan, still feeling so noble about surrendering?
You guys continue to move forward.
At some point, can I take a new action?
Yeah, you can do a new order.
Yeah, I think I want to do a different crew action
Sure.
that can. Now that I see that they're in firing range, there's one that can be used to. Let me find it again. But it basically boosts the ship's AC. Or gives it some kind of protective ward. I think I'm
Nice.
going to switch to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll find the particulars of it.
Yeah, we'll worry about that implementing it next session, because We're just at
Oh,
about
right.
time. So, as Kylum, actually, well, so yeah, Varanus takes care of that. Kylum and Omarin give me athletics checks to, basically try and get there as fast as possible. Deliver this thing as far away from your ship as possible, and, so you won't get hit. Sweetness, while they're going out in the water, what is the doctor up to?
Fretting. I think at some point I want to do this maximum casualties. It's an attack that the ship can do. So I order a single weapon from a weapon component to target the crew of the other ship. It's got to be no more than 100 feet away, and the crew makes an attack against the ship's helm AC. If it hits, deals damage against the crew instead of the ship.
Right, wow.
So for every 5 damage dealt, 1 crewman is killed.
Cool.
So I think
Varanus-
once they close range, I'm assuming we'll have to use the ballista to do that.
Yeah, well, the ballista is in long range, so you could shoot it, but you will have disadvantage on the attack roll, or you could wait until they're 150 feet.
Well, it has to, for that to be, the ship has to be no more than 100 feet.
Oh, okay, I see.
But yeah, I think that is something I will want to do.
Right. So, all right.
I guess helping however I can. I'm not
All right,
really-
you're just prepping the ship, maybe prepping your medical stuff.
Yeah,
perhaps.
certainly getting that ready.
Yeah.
God, maybe trying to think what we could. I don't know what we could do against a cannonball.
Yeah,
all right.
like I said, maybe this magical barrier or something will help.
Yeah.
And
I
yes,
have buffs, but none of them will.
on the wind you hear, consider that a warning shot. If our weapons strike your vessel, it will soon be below the sea. Don't you doubt. This is no run-of-the-mill ballista. Or even mangonel. Meanwhile, so Omarin, you're struggling, but this rowboat is very heavily laden with the materials, and you're. But
Oh yeah!
Kylum is almost outpacing, your dolphin.
Yes.
As you are churning towards their ship, and I'm gonna say, you guys reach almost all the way there by that heroic effort, and that is where we will end for the evening.
Sweet.
You two closing in, and Hal's like, all right, well, he starts blessing his weapons. He's like, gods watch over us in our great battle. Nothing like fighting at sea. And right now he's only talking to you and Sweetness, I guess. And
Yeah, we keep acting like we have this big crew. to
Right,
talk
well-
to.
well,
Three
your
guys.
your ghost crew, right, is the one
Yeah.
doing most of the stuff
Yeah.
here.
They're not, they're not chatty enough to give us like a huzzah.
Yeah.
Like they're just, it's
Funny.
it's the voice of 3 guys hanging out on this ship. But no, this is great. We
And
will,
and Bungo below decks chanting for the ship.
well, Bungo will have a whole new song in his repertoire come next session. It'll be the tale of how one ship defeated 2
Ooh.
out on the open sea.
There you have it, folks. Predicted by the ship's mage himself.
Yep, he's never wrong. He's never wrong. His predictions hold up every time.
We'll have to see what happens. Scheduling has been weird, so I don't know. Might be. Who knows? A
I
couple
can't
weeks
do
from
next
now.
week,
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks, maybe. We'll see. But we'll be back. And until then, this has been Voyage of the Fallen Star. Glad you could stop by, and happy adventures.
Peace.
See.